Good morning. Today on Spotlight, we'll drill down on the new multi-million-dollar development project now officially underway at the University of Detroit-Mercy in Northwest Detroit. What does it mean for that institution and the heart of one of the Motor City's oldest neighborhoods? We'll ask University President Dr. Antoine Garibaldi. And later on our Sunday morning program, how two artistic projects aim to define the future of Detroit and the very partisan politics of our nation. Inside Eye Detroit and posters on politics. Shirley Stancato and Donna Jackson of Detroit and Marcus Lyon of London, England will be among my guests. It's Sunday, November the 22nd. I'm Chuck Stokes and this is Spotlight. Back in February, you announced that you had a big project coming, an expansion project. It appears from what I saw the other day when you had shovels in the ground that you've moved from the talk is cheap stage to the action is money stage.
Absolutely. And we're very excited to get started. It's just a matter of a few months behind schedule because we had hoped to start this project in the summertime. But one of the things that happened with the pandemic is that it was hard to get construction workers. So we're starting now in November, and we hope to be finished with this first phase of the expansion and renovation of our student union within about 7 or 8 months. It's going to be very, very exciting in terms of adding additional space to. We're going to be adding an additional 12,000 square feet of space that will move my office and a number of the other administrative offices in the Fisher Administration Center over to the student union. And that's going to be very, very exciting for us.
You're obviously looking forward in the middle of a pandemic, which has been challenging for everybody in almost every profession. While I know some universities are sort of saying, well, God, we're doing so much virtual stuff right now. Do we really need these future buildings? You're obviously betting on the fact that this is going to end sometime soon and we're going to have people back on campus the way we used to.
Absolutely. And 40% of our students have been taking classes in person. And law school, for example, has been fully virtual. And about 60% of our undergraduate and our graduate classes have also been in virtual learning settings. So very definitely, and this is a part of our master plan and initiative that we had planned over the last couple of years. So being able to do this now in the student center, while unfortunately a lot of students are unable to access this building, is going to work out for us pretty well. And then when we finish this project and add the 12,000 square feet of space, we'll also have the opportunity as well to begin to build some student apartments for undergraduates and graduates as the next phase of this major project.
Dr. Garibaldi, talk about why this is so important, because unlike some universities where they're sort of isolated among themselves, you're smack dab in the middle of Northwest Detroit, a key part of a neighborhood. And so this means what the mayor and others talked about a long time ago is putting emphasis back on the neighborhood, not just downtown.
Well, exactly. I mean, we're making a $16.5 million investment into construction of this project over the next year and a half. And that's just for the student renovation expansion. The total project is more than $55 million. And that's going to be a very, very significant addition to this McNichols Campus project. And so in this neighborhood, that's extremely important at a time when many places, many institutions have actually moved out. And we're making the investment now because we know that that's going to be extremely important to have more students who can live on campus, particularly our upperclassmen and lots of our freshmen, even though we are 80% commuters on the campus. So, and this is just one of 3 campuses. You know, our law school is downtown, our dental school is in Corktown, and you've probably heard that we've just bought an additional building in Novi. So for 40,000 square feet, so we can really spread our wings even more.
We need to take a quick little break. We'll come right back with some more questions to Dr. Antoine Garibaldi, president of the University of Detroit-Mercy. welcome back to Spotlight. Dr. Garibaldi, 2019 was a big year for you, the biggest fundraising year in the history of your university. You're also ranked very well academically, top 200 U.S. News and World Report. You achieved that once again this year, and 20% in terms of the top 20% by the Wall Street Journal. What do you attribute all of this success to?
Well, I would say we have outstanding students and outstanding faculty. We've been very, very consistent with the moves that we have made in terms of really raising the level of our academic quality. And so being ranked in the top 20% of both US News and also the Wall Street Journal Times Higher Education Survey has been extremely important. We've also had very high retention rate. Our retention rate for our first year to second year class this year was 87%. And our graduation rates have been steadily going up as well. So we have the kind of quality education in our Jesuit at Mercy tradition that really wants to make sure that students are fully developed and fully well-rounded in terms of their academic, their intellectual, their spiritual, and their social environment. And then many students really want a smaller environment. So we have 5,000 students total, a little less than 3,000 students at the undergraduate level, and more than 1,000 at the graduate school level. And it's a place where, because of our student to faculty ratio being very small, under 13 to 1 for student to faculty, our faculty gets to know them, I get to know them, and many of our other administrators get to know them, and staff as well too. So they really feel like they are receiving a very personalized education.
Doctor, you've been in academic circles for a long time. You've worked in Pennsylvania, you've worked in the nation's capital at Howard University. You hail from the Great South and New Orleans area, and you know everybody. What is it you would like from the new president-elect and the vice president-elect? What kind of education message should they have for this country?
Well, I think we're going to get a very focused education message. Certainly, Vice President-elect's wife, Mrs. Biden, has been a professor at a community college for many, many years. Very proud of my Howard alumna in Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. And I know that the attention is really going to be placed on both higher education as well as elementary and secondary education. There's a great need there, and there's even a greater need since this pandemic, because so many young people have really lost out on an opportunity for their education with their teachers over the last several years. So I do know some of the individuals who are part of the transition team. I know that their focus is going to be, very much devoted to the opportunities for students to really get a great education, and also to be very formed and developed so that they can go on to even higher levels. So I'm very optimistic about what we're going to see going forward.
Quick final question. You're also moving up in the ranks of the Boule, which for those who don't know is a very well-respected fraternal organization. African-American men in particular all across this nation, movers and shakers. I assume that in that role, wearing that hat, there are some key things that you would like that organization to do for this nation. Can you give us a 30 seconds on what you would like to see with the other members?
Well, sure. Well, we've been focused, obviously, the Boule Sigma Pi Phi fraternity is the oldest African-American fraternity in this country. It started in 1904. The Iota chapter here in Detroit is the 8th oldest in the country. And education and also social action have been two extremely important pillars of this organization. We work very closely with young men and women here in the city of Detroit, as well as around the country. And our 5,000 members also focus very much on how we can develop young people in really a full manner, and show them the opportunities that they can have both in careers as well as being involved in volunteer service and also in public policy.
All right, Dr. Garibaldi, I don't know when in the heck you sleep, but you're obviously very successful at the many different hats that you're wearing and the many things that you're doing. Best of luck to you there at the University of Detroit Mercy, and we'll stay in touch with you and how all this development proceeds.
Thanks very much, Chuck. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right, good seeing you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Same to you and your family.
Thank you so much.